Hello guys, and welcome to the first episode in a new Let's Play. So, HPM, or the HPM mod for Victoria 2, has gotten a couple of updates since the last time I played, and so I think it is time to have another nice little campaign in this game, and this mod of course. A little campaign is the key word there. The previous campaign of course, which was this sort of, the playthrough as France where we tried to dominate Europe, that was kind of stressful, and so I thought in this playthrough we're going to do something a lot less big. We're going to play as a much smaller nation and just try and explore one of the many new additions and updates to this mod. Because I was looking through the changelog and I noticed a random little detail that I thought was quite interesting, and that is the fact that you can now play as the Mayans. You know, the Mayan people down here in the Yucatan Peninsula with the Mayan calendar and the badassery and the empires and the the Mayans. Because the change was simple really. If we play as Mexico, which we have to do in the beginning here, we can release a nation called Yucatan. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that reasonably okay. So the Yucatan can be released. And previously they had Mexican as their primary culture, but in the latest patch, or something along those lines, the 3.8 patch I think, Mayan became the primary culture of Yucatan, which I think is pretty cool, because the idea of this campaign then will be to play as the Mayan in Yucatan and unite the Mayan people under our rule. Because you can see that in 1836 the Mexicans are still very much a minority throughout the lands that the Mayans inhabit. I know for a fact that the Mayans are still around today. How dominant they are in this region though, I could not tell you. But yeah, that's the idea. We're going to release the Yucatan and unite the Mayan people. Now, one of the main reasons I think that this can be quite funny is that this will be one of the few opportunities in Victoria to play as a Native American nation. I can not really think of any other. Well, I think in the base game you can play as like Cherokee? Yeah. I think that's a thing. You can play as the Cherokee, but you cannot do that in this mod. I know though that in this mod you can play as the Metis, or Métis, or I don't know. I remember getting some angry people in the comment section last time I pronounced that name. But that's another cool little nation you can try and play as. But I decided to do the Mayans this time around, just because they are a new addition to the game. And the hilarious effect of this is that when we get immigrants, because obviously we are going to be an American nation, and so we're going to get a fuck ton of immigrants, if we play our cards right anyways, the Europeans and, Asians and all kinds of people, they will all assimilate into Mayan culture. So that's going to be interesting. That is of course something that normally never happens, because normally, European-inspired cultures are the primary cultures of the American nations. But yeah, it's going to be pretty neat. It would also be cool to see if we can spread our core provinces. Because obviously there are a bunch of Mayan provinces here that do not have Yucatan cores on them, but it would be cool if we could spread our cores to these provinces as well. So yeah, that's the idea behind this campaign. It's going to be very chill. It's going to be very interesting to see what we can achieve and what we cannot achieve, because we're going to be a tiny little derpy Mayan nation with 100,000 people. So I don't know. It's going to be very different from the last campaign. That's one of the few things I can say with certainty, at least. Anyways, so we cannot release them immediately because we start out at war with Texas, and you cannot release nations while at war with other nations. However, I have been doing a bunch of test games to see exactly how this was going to work out, and I think I'm going to do something a little bit cheeky. I'm going to postpone releasing the Yucatan for a tiny little bit of time. The reason for this is that obviously as the Yucatan and any nation in this part of the world, you need to conquer your neighbors as quickly as possible before the United States puts them in their sphere. Which for Yucatan means that we need to try and conquer Guatemala That would be the main priority, of course, because this is where a bunch of the Mayan people in the world are located. So it would be very useful to have them in our nation. And so really, instead of just playing as the Yucatan and then trying again and again and again and again and again and hope that the FRCA breaks apart in a way that's useful and that it doesn't ally anyone stupid, we're going to do a bit more of we're going to take a bit of an active role in our own destiny. So I'm going to play as Mexico, and I'm going to force the United States of Central America to release Guatemala, so that I can immediately swoop in as the Yucatan and conquer them. Some might say that's a bit gamey, and it is very gamey, but it is technically not cheating, and as long as you're technically not cheating, everything is good in my book. And after all, this is a meme campaign anyways. We're playing as the Mayans in Victoria 2. I mean, I think we deserve to meme about a bit. How about what do you guys think? Let's see. Let's get freedom of trade. I doubt we'll be able to actually research anything though before we become the Yucatan. So researching right now is actually kind of pointless. I was gonna double check that the unit here, it's being, we gotta make sure that the unit who is being built here is an infantry, because obviously we will inherit this unit when we become the Yucatan. Also, if you're wondering why I'm intentionally releasing Guatemala instead of just conquering a province from the FRCA as Yucatan, the reason for that is that the FRCA basically always allies with Venezuela, which makes conquering any land from them basically impossible as Yucatan, in my experience anyways. And that's why we have to wait for Guatemala to be, released or whatever. But we're not going to wait. We're just gonna force them to do it so that I can get this going and not have to restart a billion times. I might restart a bit though. I'll have to see, because I might want to try and cheat the odds a bit to see if I can get lucky with infamy in Guatemala so that I can maybe gobble up Honduras while I'm at it. But I mean, I guess that would kind of defeat the purpose of not wanting to restart the game over and over again, but whatever. Yeah, I'm also, by the way, immediately going to declare war on these guys, because as I said, for my test games they like to ally with Venezuela, and I don't want to have to fight them as Mexico right now, so that's why we're doing that. We're obviously going to be mobilizing. We're going to put a gathering point here. I already did that. I'm going to send the Navy over to Texas, because that's normally enough to make them fuck off and leave me alone. It is. Good. Yeah, Texan independence, I don't know, state control, just chill with the militancy so that the AI Mexico can deal with that and I don't have to, because obviously that's not my fucking problem. I'm gonna help myself along a bit though. I'm gonna encourage soldiers in the Yucatan so that when I inherit the place, or when I become the place, I'll have some nice little soldier pops to establish my meme empire with, and that is always useful. Right, let us invade these lads. It's like, this is not a problem. Like, at this point in the game, the FRCA, and in history, I guess, the FRCA is collapsing from rebels. So they're not going to be able to put up much of a fight. Alright, so we're just going to quickly murder the Central Americans. Like, seriously, Central America, are you really going to spend your entire army fighting over this one tiny province instead of, I don't know, keeping your nation from collapsing? The AI has weird priorities like that. Especially since me declaring war on him gives him an excuse to mobilize, and mobilizing as the FRCA is the only way I have found to keep the nation together. I haven't made a YouTube campaign as the FRCA, or FRCA, but I have played them on my own a while back. Very fun nation, by the way. Would recommend. And if you are playing as them and you have a hard time doing it, like, mobilize. Like, even if you get the horrible event because you mobilized without being at war, just do it anyways, because you have to. It's the only way to keep your shit together. Because of this kind of stuff. Alright, we're gonna force them to release Guatemala, so that we can gobble them up later. Of course, infamy for, we're just giving infamy to Mexico at this point. So it does not matter to us that they are gaining infamy. The plight of the Mexicans is of no relevancy. Nicaragua, no. I'm going to force Mexico, or I'm going to try and make Mexico not do that, so that maybe I can pick up that alliance when I become the Mayans. Also, I'm not sure what I'm going to call this episode. Then again, it's kind of pointless for me to sit here and think about what I'm going to call the episode, because you guys know exactly what I decided to call the episode, because you can just see the title. But I can't, so I'm not sure what to call it yet. I'm thinking like, I feel like people need to understand that we're not just playing some meme nation, you know. We're playing as the fucking Mayans in Victoria 2. So it needs to be something along the lines of like, the Mayan Empire of Yucatan. And then with like a thumbnail. Then again, this is a golden opportunity to just use their flag as the thumbnail. But maybe that wouldn't make it clear to everyone that we are in fact playing as the fucking Mayans. Might be 1836, but the natives do not surrender yet. We will restore our independence and our glory. Let's see here. Let's also force them to release Honduras. Free people, Honduras. Yup. Because, you know, we want to tear them apart so that we can gobble up some land here. Okay, there we are. The FRCA is willing to just give up at this point. Good. Doesn't matter what we click there. And yep. Let us play as the Mayans. So we will release the nation of Yucatan. Yucatan will receive the following provinces: Merida, Campeche, and Bacalar. Play as and Mayan. The primary culture represents the people who are first-class citizens in this country. Yes. Interestingly though, we do in fact accept Mexican culture, which means that we could potentially grab some Mexican land and, you know, own it without too many penalties. I mean, the only kind of ironic, I don't know if that's the right word there, but like, the only kind of annoying thing, I guess, is the fact that the majority of people in like the region closest to us, they are natives as well. They're Mesoamerican Indian. And sadly, there's no such thing as, you know, we can't, there's no decision to accept them. Well, maybe there is for the Mexicans. I know there's been a decent bit of updates regarding the Native Americans. Like you can segregate and you can exterminate and, I don't know, a lot of neat stuff. But I doubt that applies to us because we are Native American ourselves. So yeah, no, we don't have that. So it would make sense to have any, like a, it would make sense to have a policy, you know, where we have to deal with the minority of our people who are Native Americans, because we are the Native Americans. Anyways, we can do a reform. We're going to do a voting franchise, something I would normally not really do immediately. But the reason I'm more inclined to do it now is because you can see that the immigration attraction is fucking 30%. And that's not like, it's not like the game has been changed in any way. It's just that the mod developer decided to include a so-called hidden modifier into the, you know, the numbers that you can actually see. So if I understood the mod creator correctly, the like weighted universal voting has always given you 30% immigrant attraction, and universal has always given you 55% immigrant attraction. It's just that there was no place in the game that actually told you that that was the case. Like if I remember correctly, it would have been 5% plus previously, but there was a hidden modifier that added another 50%, and that's now represented in the actual game. So that kind of makes it a lot, you know, a very big priority to get vote franchise, because you know, immigrants. That's how American nations get good in this game. Anyways, yeah, so all our research was for nothing. So fuck, what do we get? Something that won't take so long. I'm guessing, well, no, I'm thinking actually we're gonna start with freedom of trade, because basic chemistry doesn't really give you anything at all. So it's kind of pointless to have it, because the next thing we want is idealism, and that will be the next technology we will get. So it makes sense to get idealism first with the bonus there before I don't know. Someone do the math and see if that made any sense, but I don't know. That's the logic I'm going to use here. Alright, so now is the big question. Are we going to be able to annex Honduras and Guatemala, or just Guatemala? I think I have decided that I'm going to be scumming this. So if this fails, I'm just going to start over again. I'm going to do that off screen though, so that you guys don't have to be annoyed at my... I'm not going to show, restarting and forcing the release of the nations and all the crap you have to do to get to this point. So please, war justification, show me some fucking mercy. Let's also get our troops to the border. Alright, good so far. What are you doing, Portugal? Doesn't matter to me. I thought Portugal got event. Oh yes, there we are. Come on. Come on, boy! Give me that, not a lot of infamy. Please. Right. We also got to keep an eye on Guatemala, because if Guatemala gets any allies, then we are kind of fucked. Nicaragua has allied the FRCA? What? Well, let's join the party. Ally these lads. There we are, alliances, good, good. Can I ally Honduras as well, maybe? I could. Fuck it, why not? If it prevents them from, allying Guatemala, then we're good, even if we're just going to cancel it. There's no such thing as truce gaining 9.2. Oh, is that worth restarting for? How many years would it be then until I can annex Honduras? It would be kind of a lot though, wouldn't it? Fuck it, I'm restarting. Alright, so here we are again. They're willing to accept, but I haven't killed their army yet, so I should probably go do that. I also kind of forgot to put these guys in reserve, so hope they didn't kill too many of the local soldiers. I really hope I didn't fuck that up too badly. Yeah, I want to exterminate their army completely, so that there are no people I have to potentially fight if they ally some of the nations I'm going to be creating here. You gonna see that? See, like those provinces barely link up. Like, can you? No, stop. Your meme army needs to die. There we are. His meme army has died. He's willing to give up. Let us try that again then. Fuck it. Just, oh yeah, that's right. We can't fabricate yet. We actually have to release ourselves. There we are. No, evaded Universal. And Guatemala. Guatemala. Alright, so I've done all the crap. 22%. 25. Come on. Let's get this shit rolling. Let's get this shit... Alright, so I was getting sick of failing that, and so I tried to just not release Guatemala and the FRCA, and for some reason the FRCA is not allied to Venezuela. We do not have any allies either, unless I can grab... No, it's not gonna happen. But we are now in a position where we can actually invade the FRCA. As the Yucatan. Basically what I did the whole same thing as I did previously, and I just took this province without releasing Guatemala and Honduras. So fuck it, let's try. I did also make sure to kill their entire army, so yeah, my dumbass allies are not interested in joining, but hopefully that will be fine. Our general is less than optimal, but maybe we will survive. So does he have any regiments at all? Presumably he's going to mobilize, and so I assume he will get any... Or yeah, he just got a regiment that for some reason has better organization than I do. I don't know who came up with that logic, but See if we can rapidly kill... No. Oh, maybe. Well, that was a bit too close. Too close for comfort. Right, let's try and attack them again. And they got away. Shit. Really? We're gonna do this dance where you just run around and annoy me until I run out of fucking money? Die! Central American meme lord. Ooh, typhoid fever. Yeah, there goes my already barely existing population, but at least we won that battle, so woo! Do you have any... No, he does not have any more regiments. So now the question is, can we somehow siege him down? Or can he get any more troops? I do not know the answer to any of those questions. I swear to memes, like... early game Latin American wars are a fucking joke. Or should I say Mayan American wars. Although I don't think you have to point out the fact that they're American when you're talking about Mayans, so... But still. Shit, this might actually work! Does he have any more units? No! Damn boy! See, now I regret not recording the sort of lead up to this scenario rather than recording the other scenario. But in all my test games, I was never able to get into this kind of a situation where I was fighting the Central Americans with an army. You know, fighting the Central Americans as the Mayans, without the Central Americans being allied to Venezuela. Peace, really? But I mean, obviously we have to go overboard here and, you know, ask for another state. See, I got like 10 infamy when I fabricated the previous one, so obviously that did not work out as optimal as I would like it to. But that's the advantage of taking states instead of taking, or doing conquest casus belli. It just doesn't cost as much. Look at these meme lords trying to create another army to beat me up. I do not tolerate such memes. Also, yeah, I'm sitting here creating generals. This is like the greatest part of this playthrough, is the fact that we do actually have like Native American portraits for our generals. It seems like every portrait is the same. You know. And the names sound suspiciously Spanish in nature. But hey, I guess the developers didn't bother putting Mayan names into the game, because normally there would be no way to play as a Mayan nation. So it does kind of make sense why things are the way they are, but, you know. And there it is. Fuck yes. Slavery? We have slavery? Let's do that, but no, but seriously, we have slavery? We have slavery. Also, in this alternate timeline, I was able to do school system, and even if you don't get a lot of immigration compared to weighted universal, it's very rare that your people are angry to the point where they're going to give you social reforms. So that's why I did that. But this is interesting though. It looks like we have not inherited the reforms of Mexico, because I know for a fact that Mexico has no voting in the beginning. So I'm not sure what exactly is going on here, but yeah, we are a presidential dictatorship though. That's weird. We can appoint ruling party? That is weird. Yeah, no, we're not going to extend slavery. Slavery is a meme, and memes are only appropriate in certain situations. Central American patriots. Yeah, okay. Hopefully that does not become too big of a problem. Also, I think I'm quickly going to see... I'm going to try and restart the game and see if I can fix this whole presidential dictatorship thing. Then again, being a presidential dictatorship is kind of useful, because presumably that lets us change political parties. Yes, we can, but I think there are penalties to immigration for being a dictatorship. Yeah, we're getting no immigrants, so I'm going to quickly restart here. Alright, I restarted the game, and I'm letting some time pass here, but I'm getting no pop-up where I can turn into a a democracy here, so I don't know what the fuck is going on. Also, El Salvador is now a thing. So the union has finally been abolished. Yay. Can we form the union, by the way? The Belize Purchase. Ooh. Commodity boom, new life in the new world. Total war in the Yucatan. Yeah, that's a special event that allows us to get some bonuses for fighting against Mexico. But yeah, because Yucatan was originally a nation that revolted from Mexico in 1840. Maybe it was 1841, I forget. But and to simulate that, you know, that decision exists primarily for the AI to take. And also for those who are going to ask, I have checked it. When that decision pops up for Mexico, you cannot click the button to become the Yucatan. Manually releasing them like we did here is the only way to play as the Yucatan. So unfortunately, that's how that works. But I hope that my game is not bugged here. Obviously, because that would be rather annoying. I don't understand why I'm not turning into a democracy. Am I getting immigrants? Oh, fuck yeah, I'm getting immigrants. Not a fuck ton, but I am definitely getting immigrants. Mexico is a constitutional monarchy. Okay. I don't know, maybe I'll have to dig down to the through the files a bit to see if I can find why I'm not turning into a democracy. Or maybe we just have to become more reformed, I guess. Yeah, we have some nasty movements going on here. Mainly the Central Americans who do not approve of being a part of my nation. Hopefully that's not creating any crisis temperature. Not really, no. It should, though. Actually, no, I don't think that adds up, no. Crackdown is not Mayan. Hey, we can just kill... Fuck yeah, let's murder the locals. Die, locals! Maybe we shouldn't waste our population, though. We don't have a lot, so... But hey, do Central American people technically... Like, are they actually people? Or are they just memes? You know? The big questions here on this channel. I am the one who dares to ask them. Anyways, though, I think we should end the episode here. Sorry for this first episode being basically a complete mess of me restarting the game and changing the strategy that I'm going to use midway through my playthrough here. Or not midway, but, you know, in the middle of the episode. But, fuck it. I don't wanna start over now, because that would take too much long. Take too much long? Yeah, I should probably end the episode. Thanks so much for watching this episode, and until next time, bye.